broken people are leading the charge and offering advice. If I'm broken and bitter, and I've got an issue with my mom, and I got an issue with my dad, and I got an issue with my ex-wife, and I got an issue with the system, and you call me for advice, I'm going to give you my broken fucking advice. It's that period. And that's the major problem around here. The most broken people have the biggest voices. But I thank you for calling. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right.
Anti-Afro Spengalis. Who you heard from was Nylah from Nylah Says. And before I move on with the topic, I want to direct you to the link at the bottom. Nylah addressed the issue globally, what I'm going to be addressing today, and the feedback and the context was very interesting. I would encourage you to go and listen to what was said, and you'll get a bigger idea of what the issue is. There are many issues surrounding this Kevin Samuels. I'm going to be doing some videos on this, but there is a question, a burning question that's been put out there that I'm going to address, because this has to do with this whole movement. It's quite insulting when you look at it from this very small lens, this relationship advice, little small lens, but the big picture, it's not a problem if somebody decides they want to come to YouTube and give advice on relationships. Okay, I want to have a channel and I want to give people advice on relationships. The issue becomes serious when you are doing damage to people. That's where the problem begins. Because you don't really need any special credentials to come on to YouTube and just give your opinion and advice, except when there is a potential for damage, or you are holding yourself out to be something that you are not. Does this sound familiar? Yes, it does. Umar Johnson does that on a regular basis. He identifies himself as a therapist, as a psychologist, as a mental health expert. Kevin Samuels doesn't do this. However, the things that he is doing, the things that he is saying, it can cause some serious issues. That's the concern. So I want to put that out there. Now, here's the question that people have been asking. This issue has come up more so because there was a discovery that Kevin Samuels was on the cheerleading squad, or people are calling it the pom-pom squad. There's different types of descriptions that people have brought up. So it has fueled this question that was already being discussed, whether or not Kevin Samuels is a gay man. And there are people out there feeling this question is relevant given his position with imposing his views on black women. Granted, they are calling into this show. So what I want to make sure is clear, I'm going to take it to the general sense. Does it matter if a gay man, we're going to be very specific, gives women advice? More specifically, a black gay man gives black women advice on relationships. If you just say it like that, does it matter? Is it appropriate? The answer to that question is you need more information, which takes us back to Nyla's comment at the beginning. Now you can start weighing in when you have more information, but just by itself, can a black gay man give a black woman relationship advice just by itself? You can't answer that. So now people are saying they believe they have more information about Kevin Samuels, and a lot of people are saying no. Now, whether or not Kevin Samuels is gay or not, I have absolutely no idea. People are giving an opinion. But it wouldn't be just because he's a gay man if that is in fact true. Because people are throwing in all those opinions about whether or not he was on the cheerleading squad. Now let's put something on the table right now. Somebody can be masculine appearing and be gay. Somebody can appear to have feminine qualities and be heterosexual. So you can't go by that, people. We can't go by that. So that pretty much can't really be the guide. Let me tell you the reason why people are so upset. Black women are so upset, and there are a good number of black men that are so upset. They believe Kevin Samuels is moving between two communities. And the community he's moving with, when he's criticizing black women, would be the community that would have the most severe reaction if he did indeed state that he's a gay man. So against that backdrop, they feel his fierceness, his intensity, his being relentless and driving hard on the black woman is revolting. And they feel this is fueling these essentially attacks. Now, the other community, now we're being hypothetical because this is what people are feeling. Let's say it was true. So if he's to move into another community, he's free to go about, let's say it's the gay community where people know him, he's accepted, there's no pressure there. But he wouldn't be accessing black women in that community and giving them advice in that community. He's only going to be doing that in the community where he would get the most hostile reaction if he were to come out and say who he really was. So let me say this. We are not going to pretend that that pocket doesn't exist. That pocket where black men are living, insisting, declaring that they are straight/heterosexual, living as heterosexual men, whether they're married or in unions, producing children. They are known to people in the community as heterosexual when in fact they are not. We are not going to sit here and pretend that that doesn't exist, people, because it does. It absolutely does. We are further not going to pretend that black women have experienced, very much so have experienced, that hostility from that group. Now, are we broad brushing every single man in that category? Absolutely not. And in no way am I implying that, but that is a reality. And how and why do we know that's a reality? As much as people do not want to admit it, the HIV rates in the black community are extremely high. And one of the fastest growing populations of HIV rates are among men who are known to those in their circle to be living as heterosexual. And how do we know this? Because when they gather data, now you can look at any research, go to CDC. When you do the research, when you do the questioning, this is national research, how do you contract, in your opinion, in your view? IV drug use, sex with men. This is a matter of research, people. And many of these men are living lives as heterosexuals. So we're not going to say that doesn't exist, nor are we going to say every man in that category engages in behavior that's hostile towards black women, because that would be ridiculous, people. But we can't say that's not a reality. So when you see the reaction to Kevin Samuels, the anger, this is a reflection. Now, I have to make it very clear, because I have to defend people who are getting angry. I do not believe, nor could you ever convince me, that if Kevin Samuels treated black women with respect, would anybody really give a damn if he was gay? Why would they care? If he treated black women in a decent manner, who would really care about his sexual orientation if he was gay? And again, I could care less. What I care about is the way he's treating black women above anything else. Now, what exacerbates the issue for so many people is this pocket of men who move between two black communities. This is what's fueling the anger. Although Kevin Samuels is insisting, I don't move between two communities, I'm a straight man, okay, fine, I'm not going to argue with him. What drives this anger towards black women? It is so vicious. Because let me tell you something. I went and I had clicked on, this was last Saturday or the Saturday before, the show. I think it said 2 hours and something minutes. I think it was almost 3 hours. I was just clicking. I do my random clicks because if I have no intention of sitting down and listening to a show, as you know I do with Umar Johnson, even if it's 15 minutes, I'm going to random click. And if I'm random clicking, and every time I click on, Umar Johnson is saying something disgusting towards black women, and here Kevin Samuels is saying something disgusting towards black women. You mean to tell me if I sit down there and listen to the whole 3-hour video, he's going to be saying something on balance that's nice to black women? No, we know the answer to that question, people. So what is driving this? Let's go back to what Nylah was saying at the beginning. When you say, quote, broken people. Anybody that comes onto the internet that wants to give advice to black women and relationships, and I'm just saying that because this is the group that people are targeting. You can have any issue in the world. We all have them. If those issues are not managed and self-monitored, the way he was treating black women caused people to dig deeper. That's my position. It caused people to say, what in the hell is going on? Otherwise, I think people would have been less inclined to go digging around. And they're digging hard now because even more stuff is coming out. Someone had made an allegation. If you listen to the live stream, you would hear what he had been saying to her. He was coming at her with some pretty damaging accusations. And we were going, how in the world are you coming up with this? And one of the things that he came up with that we said to Nylah, no, we don't think you should do that. We don't think you should put that on the screen. Come to find out, he had a situation like that. And Nylah had that information, and we just said, no, don't put it up. It's obvious why he was asking that question and why he was going down that road and how he had so much knowledge based on what he was asking. It had nothing to do with her. Because she was like, what are you talking about? Based on the information that came Nyla's way, he had a situation like that. So that's why I'm telling you, an issue that was not managed. It was still obviously very much a part of his existence, that this situation was a reality for him. It had nothing to do with the person who was appearing on the screen on his show. But he forced it on her to the point she's going, what in the world are you talking about? It was irrelevant, people. But he's just bringing this up out of the clear blue sky. There was no justification. Now, if you like, I will go ahead and cue up that part of the exchange. I'll see if I can find it. I don't know if I can or not. If I can't find it, by the time I post this video, I'll come back at a later time to see if I can cue that up. But she didn't post the information, so I'm not going to say it, but it's in the live stream. And it's something that he ended up accusing her of or implying that she had an issue with. And there was no grounds for that, people. So he was just swashbuckling all over the place. So let me reemphasize the question. Does it matter if a black gay man gives a black woman relationship advice? Just alone, you can't say that unless you have more information. Does it matter if Kevin Samuels is a gay black man giving black women advice? If he hasn't reconciled his issues, it would matter. Very much so. And that would be because the way he is treating the women he's dealing with. And I have to say the caveat, I have no idea what Kevin Samuels is, and I don't care. The important thing is the way he is treating black women. And I don't want to leave off this photo you see here on the screen, that he encountered some women, I believe these white women in Europe. He treated them like movie stars. And that lit a firestorm of protest and anger among black women. Think about it, people. How people are treated matters. How you treat people matters most of all. I have so much more to say about this situation. And you know I wasn't going to keep my mouth closed about this Umar Johnson angle. You know the drill. Buyer beware.